Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and this is Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. Now on Thursday night, Russian forces launched yet another drone attack on Ukraine. According to Ukrainian authorities, Moscow sent 40 drones across the border, causing multiple casualties. In the city of Sumy, which has been under constant Russian fire, the regional governor confirmed that 2 people were killed and 5 more were injured after strikes hit both industrial facilities and residential areas. At the same time, Russian officials reported what they described as one of the largest Ukrainian drone attacks to date, saying their military destroyed 221 drones over Russian territory. In the Leningrad region, in the port city of Primorsk, a ship caught fire after being hit by a drone, though authorities said the blaze was quickly extinguished, with no risk of sinking or oil spills. A pumping station there was also damaged, but no casualties have been reported. In Moscow, air defense units shot down 9 drones, according to Russian sources, that were headed towards the capital. And the mayor said emergency crews are now examining fragments where they landed. And in the border region of Belgorod, officials confirmed that a woman was killed at a bus stop in a Ukrainian drone strike, with several apartments, private homes and cars damaged in the city center. Now, drone attacks were also reported in occupied Luhansk and in Russia's Rostov region. Of course, one has to remember that information from Russian sources may not always be reliable, and that Ukraine doesn't habitually attack civilian targets, mostly military or industrial facilities. Now, moving on to the front line, where the situation in the Sumy area is as follows. Russian forces are still trying to seize the border village of Yunakivka, but have not been able to gain full control. Ukrainian troops are gradually pushing the Russians back deeper into the rear, making progress in their counteroffensive. Meanwhile, Kiev-based analysts say that Ukrainian defenses have successfully counterattacked near Shakhove, to the east of a Russian breakthrough in the Dobropilya area. That salient is linked to the rest of Russian-held territory by only a narrow strip of land, roughly 500 meters wide, with no roads to speak of. Despite this vulnerability, Russian forces inside the salient are still trying to push north toward already encircled units near Kucherev Yar, while those units themselves are attempting attacks northward in the direction of Vesele. Ukrainian aerial reconnaissance also reports that in recent days, Russian troops have been launching daily assaults with 1 or 2 armored vehicles in the direction of Dobropilya, a sector where heavy armor had rarely been used before. A video has appeared online showing a Mi-8 helicopter of the Ukrainian Air Force spectacularly destroying a Russian Shahed kamikaze drone. The footage shows the crew of the Ukrainian helicopter opening fire on the drone and literally setting it ablaze mid-air. The Russian Shahed loses control and burns up without reaching its target. This interaction demonstrates that Ukrainian pilots are able to effectively counter even massive drone attacks using all available means. I suppose that the Russians might say, no, the drone is supposed to look this way. It had a secret jet engine on board? Yeah, probably not. Anyway, moving on. Ukrainian special forces dealt a devastating blow to a Russian BMD-3 armored vehicle in the Zaporizhia region. The Russian vehicle was spotted by Ukrainian scouts, after which it was hit with a high-precision strike. The video shows the Russian machine bursting into flames and turning into burning wreckage in a matter of seconds. Recently, the Russians have been using armored vehicles more and more frequently on this section of the front line. At the same time, each attempt like this results in their increased number of losses, as Ukrainian forces quickly detect and destroy the Russian units. Now, moving on to the next story today. A GoPro camera belonging to the reconnaissance platoon of Ukraine's Azov Regiment captured their soldiers clearing the Donetsk region of Russian occupiers step by step. Each Russian assault leaves behind scattered groups of invaders. They try to hide in ruined buildings, forests, or even among abandoned farmyards. But the Azov soldiers methodically track down and destroy these remnants of the so-called Second Army in the world. Only the most experienced are sent on such missions, those who are able to silently neutralize the Russians, capture prisoners, or evacuate civilians directly from under fire. Their work often remains outside the scope of official reports, but it is precisely this work that shapes the reality of the front line. At the heart of their mission is a single goal: to liberate Ukrainian land from the Russians.
Да! Давай быстрее!
Оружие, руки поднял!
Убивать не будем, с поднятыми руками, у тебя 10 секунд.
Давай быстрее, блядь, я сейчас буду еще награду полететь.
Выходи, не бойся, мы убивать не будем.
Один,
Руки подними, руки!
двое, второй где?
Вылазь!
Давай!
Сюда ползи, ко мне ползи. Ползи ко мне, быстро.
Да, вот выпал сегодня 300 и два.
Ко мне ползи тоже, давай. Третий где?
Нету третьего, двое.
Ты слышишь?
Двое.
К нему ползи, блядь.
Ко мне, давайте, быстрей. Быстрей. Все, вставайте. Проходите вперед. Давайте, быстрее, убивать вас не будем. Красота, заходь.
Вот аптечка есть. Вот аптечка.
Ага. Та зараз я подивлюсь, що в них тут є ще. Ось ще одна аптечка.
Ще одна аптечка.
Парни, здорово. Вас только двое в подвале?
Да, двое.
Да, двое. Давайте, парни. Добро пожаловать в плен. Заходим сюда в подвал. Ну, давайте быстрее. А что с глазом? Я глаз на месте, старый?
Нет.
Не на месте, заходь в подвал.
Just in case some of you actually began asking questions about the weather in that video clip, saying, wow, the trees have no leaves and there are no rotting leaves to be found. Quite possibly this might have been recorded earlier during the year, perhaps early spring. But the reason that such pieces of footage are actually released later is very simple. For tactical reasons. In some cases, you don't really want footage to surface immediately, because if the front line has not really moved on since then, the enemy could actually use this footage to track your positions. So what you do? Well, delayed release like that. Simple. And with this, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.